And how God works is that he never takes beginners. So even as I was going, he was assuming I'm not a beginner.
You're not a beginner.
So as soon as he discovered I'm a beginner, he was about to drop me.
But you'd waited for 1 year.
But God checked in.
Amen.
Because our spirits just clicked.
Connected.
And now he couldn't drop me.
Hi everybody, my name is Angie Murenga. You're watching Just Angie and it's Lifestyle Thursday, and I'm continuing a conversation with Shitaqua. She was talking about process. That if she had been told the one thing by Jonathan Butler, then she wouldn't have gone through process. So
Yes. So growing up, I always was very scared of letting my parents down.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
It was a very serious thing at home. Like, my dad would never hit you. He'd just say, I'm so disappointed in you.
Sometimes it's when you have a war.
That is like death, because you will not sleep. You'll just be, the whole night you'll be thinking about, I should have done this, I should have never done this. So one of the things that, going into high school, my dad now passed away.
Yeah, that was
so every time I would, like, my mom would give me my bank slip for school fees, which for me was a lot because I'm the only kid who went to very expensive schools. My other siblings would go to,
You're the girl.
I'm the girl, I'm the only girl.
You're the only girl.
They were really investing in me. So my mom would tell me, don't thank me, show it.
Wow. Show it by the results.
Yes. So fear came in because I didn't want to do music, because I didn't want to fail in it.
Really?
Yes.
But you had a gift.
It's different. It now has math and science and balancing things. So I just didn't do it. And
you didn't do music?
Yeah, I didn't do music.
In high school?
Yes.
But do you think maybe it's because when Dad passed on, were you doing it before?
No. It's just teachers who would see something in me and pull it out.
And bring it out.
And then it was not in the curriculum at that time. So, yeah, I would be so scared because I was like, failing music is like failing my dad. So I just never went down that path. So now that I was in the journey of process, I was like, I have to do everything. So it started with me. And how it worked out is that immediately after that conversation with Jonathan Butler, my birthday was upcoming. Everyone bought me an instrument. So I was like, wow.
A musical instrument?
Yes. I got 2 guitars and percussions. So I was like, now I have to do it. This is a sign from God. See, you've been praying. Yeah, so that's how my brother introduced me to a friend of his who sits on the board of Conservatoire School of Music. And then he introduced me to one of the best teachers there, who never teaches beginners. So one of the things about process, you've been anointed, but you have to wait. So it took a whole year before he could take me onto his class. And how God works is that he never takes beginners. So even as I was going, he was assuming I'm not a beginner.
You're not a beginner.
So as soon as he discovered I'm a beginner, he was about to drop me.
But you'd waited for 1 year.
But God checked in.
Amen.
Because our spirits just clicked.
Connected.
And now he couldn't drop me. So that's how the journey at school began. I explained to him that I do not really want to learn classical music, but just to learn how to understand this language. Because I knew that I have one thing to be ready for the world.
Yes.
The musicians in the world speak music, a language that I do not know how to communicate in. Because I learned everything by ear. So I can't express myself to other musicians if I can't write it. So I was like, I need to learn this language.
Wow.
And that's how it became a thing. For once, I allowed myself to have a vocal coach, which is something I never used to want to have because I'm the greatest critic of myself. So sometimes half the class would be like, be easy on yourself, just be easy on yourself, just be easy on yourself. Yeah, and then I decided to come out. I don't like public things. I don't like talking to people. And that was one of the things that I had to do because I'm being prepared for the world. So I had to start getting out there and interacting with people. I used to be the singer who just disappears after a gig.
And that's amazing because your voice is powerful, Shitaqua, because I've heard you sing. We should make you sing something. But your voice is so powerful. It's amazing that all that can come out of you and then you just want to be alone.
Yeah.
You don't want to hang out with people.
No.
Because your voice is extremely
And I've lost
powerful.
very many friends because they don't understand how I could be such a public person on one side, and then I'm very quiet on the other. Especially if I'm having a creative space, I just shut down. Like I shut down from people. So I was actually joking, saying going to school and coming to Joseph's house has taught me how to get out of my comfort zone, because otherwise I'd be at home and at work.
Wow. And it's amazing how you're a homebody as well, because when I see you, you're all this like a burst of flavors and energy. It's actually quite surprising, because when you're not in that mode, you're a very different person.
Yeah.
But we've been pulling out of you, and
Yeah.
you know, I guess that was God's way. We didn't know.
The first time someone had me lead worship here, they were very surprised. They're like, I've never had you do that before. I was like, because that's what they call out of me. So if I go into a space where all they want to know is just the quiet girl, that's all they get.
That's all they get.
Yeah.
We have to make a demand. And that's amazing, because I was going to say, even after PLF, you disappeared for a while. And then I don't know what made you come back. You don't have to expose the whole world, but all of a sudden one day you were there.
Yes.
And you were at the back, and you led worship from the back. And we're like, okay, she's back.
Yeah.
Right? But we had never, actually when you did PLF, we'd never experienced your
No,
gift.
no.
We didn't know that you when you
I was
had
busy
a gift.
hiding. Yeah. Backbench, you know.
Yeah, but this is the place where God pulls out purpose and potential, and then puts you on the path that you need to get to. Because you lead worship absolutely amazingly. And there's always something that comes out in you that when you've given your all,
Yeah.
there's a place, and maybe that's the place to say you see worshipers. There's entertain, and you can even entertain in worship. I think many of us sometimes we go to church to be entertained, and how you know you're the one who went to church to be entertained is you're usually the one who says, today the worship team wasn't so on point.
Yes.
Yeah, you are looking for entertainment, you're not looking for worship, because worship you should be spiritually, is it ready?
Yes.
And you come and we create the worship together.
Exactly.
But if you want entertainment, you want somebody else to create it for you, and then to pump you up and lift you up, that's entertainment, that's not worship. But I love worship because worshipers are supposed to bring the presence of God into the room and into the space. They're supposed to create an open heaven. That's why you have this gift. That's why I can't sing like that, but you can. And it invokes the presence of God, and something arises even within the worshiper. True. And now you're ready to meet your God. So it's such an important role, and it can't be done with theatrics and antics. And you find people can sing, but they're full of pride. There's no worship that can come out of that. There's a submission that is required.
Yeah. It took me a while to realize what that journey had been, because my dad used to say a microphone is a reward, so it comes last. So my whole journey, I never had instruments, because your voice is the instrument. Why do you need an instrument? You need to justify why you have that instrument. So I remember, like my uncle was a very big part of my music. He was the high school music teacher, David Zalo, and I never took music. I don't know why. So he would lock me up and then go. And then he would be like, when I hear you sing the correct thing, I'll come back. Sometimes we would even forget and go to sleep, and then the guard is like, you left a student in the music room. Yeah. And even my dad would do the same thing. He'd be like, stand on the table and start singing. And no one is paying attention to you until they hear. So I think
you have connected.
Yes. So that's how I learned how to do it, and then it became such a familiar place for me.
And I'd like to end, because next week I want us to talk about what you would tell your younger self, because you do gigs. You know, sometimes I get worried, you know, you're young, you're beautiful, there are predators out here. So maybe somebody who's just trying to start out, but that will be the next conversation. What would you say to them and encourage them? And then just to end this one on, I remember once you came and you created this, I don't even know, it wasn't a song, it was like a word. And we worshipped for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
To that word. Do you remember the word? Because I don't remember.
Yeah. No, it was a spontaneous thing.
And we just went and went and went and went.
Yes.
Okay. Next week you're singing for us?
Yes.
Okay. See you next week.